Hey guys, today we're going to be pressure canning some potatoes. I actually have done this once before, and I got this pressure canner maybe like a month ago, and I put up some potatoes and I want to get some more put up because they were so good. So I bought this 20-pound bag of potatoes from our local grocery store, and I want to go ahead and process them. So let's get into it. If you guys hear some buzzing and whatnot in the background, Luke and Jansen are cutting the grass, so this is not great timing, but that's okay. The first thing we're going to do is get these scrubbed and washed up because I'm going to keep the peels on most of these. Okay, so all I'm going to do is take my little finger scrubber here and just scrub down my potato, since I want to leave the skins on, and then I give it a rinse like this, toss it in a bowl, and repeat. This is just to get all that nasty dirt off that was missed when they cleaned them. Assuming they cleaned them. They might not have. It's been a little while since you saw me when I was scrubbing these. And now we're just gonna cube these up into just little chunks like this. They're probably like 1-inch cubes maybe. And then we're gonna put them in this bowl. I need to get another bowl. And next we're going to take these and we're going to rinse them under water until the water runs clear and all the starch is kind of out. Okay, hopefully my microphone is still working, since I think I just might have broke it. But now I'm just going to take these and we're going to fill this bowl up with water. I'm going to stir through them. I'm going to try and rinse all the starch out. See how the water's kind of cloudy? But you don't want it to be cloudy, you want it to run clear. We don't want to dump our potatoes out, but it happens. Especially if you overfill your bowl. Good thing we cleaned the sink. This doesn't have to be perfect. It just helps it out a little. Okay, what we're going to do now is we're just going to pour our potatoes in here. Make sure you get all the water out, because we don't really want all that water. Since we're using a dry pack method, we don't really want water in here. Now I'm going to strain all the rest of the potatoes out, and then we're going to season them and put them in our jars. Okay guys, so all these potatoes are going to be seasoned the exact same. I just ran out of room in all my bowls, so now we have 4 bowls. This is about 20 pounds of potatoes. And I didn't measure this when I made them. I just measured with my heart. So I have some garlic powder here that I'm going to use. And this is called Kinder's. This is from Walmart. Kinder's caramelized onion butter, and it is so good. So, and Luke's allergic to onions, so we can't use regular onions. We have to use onion powder. And I'm just going to wing it and season however much I think it needs. Now, I have heard that when you pressure can, the seasonings really can become overpowering. So I'm not salting these or peppering them. And I didn't salt or pepper them, I don't think, the first time I made them either. And they turned out so good. They needed like a small bit of salt, but that's it. Okay, so all I've done is garlic powder, caramelized onion, and now I'm just going to stir them up. Oh, I did put parsley in last time just for looks, but I'm not doing it again. It's fine. Looks pretty good. So you just want to make sure you stir it all around and make sure all your potatoes have some seasonings on them. Like this. Okay, so I'm going to use quart jars for this. 1 quart jar is about enough for me and Luke both, maybe a little bit extra. And now I'm going to use a spoon just because it's less messy. And we're just going to throw these in here like this. This is called dry packing, and you can dry pack when you pressure can. And once it's full like this, you can see there's a lot of air in there. You're gonna take your jar, you're gonna take your hand, and you're just gonna beat your jar on your hand to kind of shimmy it down in there. And it really does work. You just want them all to be, you want as many potatoes in this jar as you can get. I did 10 pounds last time, and I think we got 6 quarts. So we should get 12 quarts. Okay, so here you have your potatoes. We're going to do this to every single jar, and then we're going to put a couple pats of butter on the top. So this is probably a tablespoon of butter. And you just pop it on the top like that. And there you go. We're going to repeat this for every jar. Okay guys, so into my pressure canner here, I'm going to add 3 quarts of water, and there is this guy in the bottom so that the cans don't touch the bottom. Let me get a jar. Okay, so I'm going to fill this quart jar up 3 times and dump it in there. If you've never pressure canned before, it's really easy. Don't be worried about it. You're just going to put 3 quarts of water in here. And since we're pressure canning, you can do cold jars or room temperature jars into about room temperature water into your room temperature canner. You don't have to heat up your jars. And you don't have to have enough water to cover them. You just have to have enough water where it'll have enough water in there still to process. So that you want to have enough water in there. that there's still water when it's done processing. So here's my pressure canner. I'm going to set it on the stove. The stove isn't on. Just want it out of my way. Okay, now I'm going to take my vinegar on these paper towels, like that. And all I'm going to do is take my vinegar rag and wipe the rims of my jars. Like this, and around the outside if you think you got anything on the outside. We decided to go ahead and get our canner working for us while we pack the rest of the jars, but my canner holds 7 quarts per load. So, and you want to leave about an inch of headspace here. This butter is going to melt, and then that will leave us our inch of headspace. That's no big deal. When you get these out of the canner, they're going to look they're probably going to be missing this much material because your potatoes are going to cook down, but that's okay. That's just how it is. And they might look a little gross, but since they're sealed, they should not go bad. Okay, got those wiped. Now I'm going to get my flats. I'm using these ball flats, but you can use whatever ones you want. Make sure you only got one. Okay. Maybe. Golly. And now we'll load them into the canner. Okay guys, then I'm just going to put my cold jars into my cold canner. Gonna rearrange them until I can get all 7 because I know it fits 7. Then I'm gonna get the lid, take the weight off the lid, put our lid on. I'm gonna turn the heat on. And now we're gonna let this guy come up to pressure. I'll show you the gauge. Okay, so first we turn on the heat and we're gonna wait for steam to come out of this guy. And once steam has come from this guy for 10 minutes, we'll put our weight on. Which is that little guy. And then this guy, once this guy's on, this dial will start moving, and we want 11 pounds of pressure. I like to keep it between 11 and 15. That depends on your elevation, so you're going to want to Google that. Once we get to that, we'll set a timer for 40 minutes and let our potatoes process. So I'll show you guys once the steam's coming out, and I'll show you guys when I put the weight on as well. Okay, so you can see that the steam is coming out of the vent. It has 9 seconds left for my 10-minute timer. Let me go ahead and turn that off. And we're going to go ahead and put our weight on now. Oh, I want to burn yourself off. Okay, and now this dial is going to come up to 11, and once it's at 11, we're going to process them for 40 minutes. Okay guys, so here's what our dial looks like, and now our timer has gone off for 40 minutes. I'm gonna turn it off. Okay, now I'm gonna turn the burner off. I'm gonna let this come down to 0 pounds of pressure, And when it comes down to 0 pounds of pressure, then I'll open it. Then I'll take the weight off. Then I'll open it. Okay, guys, so I waited for it to come down to 0 pounds of pressure. I took the weight off. Then I waited 5 minutes. Then I took the lid off. And now I've waited 10 minutes, and I'm going to take these out. And we already heard one seal, so that's good. And if they haven't sealed when you're taking them out, you're supposed to give them 24 hours to seal before you know for sure if they're good for the shelf or if you need to eat them now or put them in your refrigerator. And then we're gonna pressure can the others tomorrow because I'm not doing it tonight. It's 10:39 because I forgot to do this and waited so late. See how many we got total. We got 7 here and 6 more. So what is that? 13. 13 total. And then I'm going to wrap them with this towel now. And the reason why I'm wrapping them with the towel is just so they don't have such a crazy sudden change in temperature, which is the same reason why we did 5 minutes after taking this off with the lid on, 10 minutes after while they were still in the water, and then letting them sit there. So, yeah, I will see you for an outro in the morning when I can move these around, and yeah. Okay, guys, so here is what we're looking like. Let's see if they feel sealed. That one has not sealed, but the rest of them have, so that's good. We might just reprocess this one with the other ones, since you can reprocess them. Sometimes they just don't seal, sometimes they take a really long time to seal, so just gonna leave these right here. I'll cover them back up. And then over here, the ones we haven't processed yet that we will process today. Thank you guys for watching. I hope that you guys can figure out how to pressure can some things too. You can pressure can a lot more than just potatoes. So thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye, guys.